Hi, I'm back again. It's part 4. Okay, we were talking about the outcast table. Yeah. I basically, for the actually, all my high school years, I was being the outcast. Yeah, I was on yearbook, I was on, especially photography club. I was the president of photography club, but that even got thrown in my face. And that'll be another story I'll tell you about, and everything. But like I said, so you figure 8 years of hell in grade school, not going to doctors, not doing anything, not checking up on things and stuff, my knee, all this, everything. Not a good way to grow up. And then to be thrown into side effects from cortisone and everything, to find out you're allergic to cortisone, anything with a steroid based in it, did not make my first 3 years of high school memorable. Being the fat kid, being the girl with the mom's home haircuts, the bad glasses that now everybody thinks is popular, and everything back then used to get beat up for. The big frame ones, I think I still have them somewhere, but I'm not showing you those because those things are horrible. They were by LA Gear. And today somebody would probably buy them off me for like $50 if they could buy them. They could have them if they want. But my first, I could not hang with people. People invited me places, but she was so telling me they're doing it because they're out of sympathy. You're fat. They're gonna make you the joke. It's gonna be like Carrie. When your mother tells you it's gonna be like Carrie, then you know your mother's something wrong. It wasn't until a teacher pointed it out to me that my mother could be manic. Plus, I also didn't like my school because the guidance counselors, when I went and told them everything that was going on, went home and I went home and they called my mother, and she came to school and told them I was a big fat liar, that the bruises were me just falling, that the injuries and everything, that's just a figment. My father was telling me that he just looked at her and did not know the woman he married. And I didn't trust the guidance counselors anymore because I needed somebody to go to, but how could I? Because they were taking my mother's side. And then when everything was going smoothly and stuff, right, I thought finally starting to get an identity, even though it was a horrible place to be, but I was getting an identity. My mother decides, since she has to keep tabs on me and my sister, more me, she figured we thought we were going to move to Westchester, where Sacred Heart is, and literally put my sister in the grade school, which meant she had to take the bus with me, because that was the other thing I forgot to tell you guys. I got to take the bus, so I wasn't being driven everywhere like I always was. I was getting my identity. My sister goes, I'm not taking no bus, I'm tired of this. She got to school, she was getting to school early, right? Because I had to be in earlier than her. What does my mother do? Drives us and keeps driving us and everything. But here's the funny part. Growing up, I was not allowed in the front seat. My sister was. I was not allowed anything. My sister, meaning my sister came before me, even though she's younger. That's why she got in her head that she could get whatever she wanted. And the attitude kept growing and growing. See how a manic creates something? You're looking at two girls. One is told no, one's told yes. I'm told no, sister told yes. So it makes you view life differently, that you're not going to get anything good. So growing up that way, same thing with high school, right? And I was always late because my mother would not. She thought that 8:30 meant you had to be in there at 8:30. No, she didn't realize 8:30 meant you had to be there at 8 o'clock. That was the joke of it and everything too. It's really not a joke because I'm glad that I had second and first honors. That's another thing too. Nobody knows this, but I had gotten second honors, first honors and everything. My freshman year I was in honors classes and I got second honors. Because of the dyslexia, they convinced my mother to mainstream me my sophomore and junior year. I was maintaining straight hundreds with first honors. Bored out of my mind. I had headphones on in my math class and my teacher was like, put your headphones back on, just go to sleep. Because I knew the answers. But there was a math teacher that couldn't understand how I created new math. That's how my brain works. I can solve problems and everything. People don't understand. I'm a math genius. I am a science genius. I figured out the T4 cells is what's causing the AIDS virus in some white Caucasian men and some African American men. And then years later, because my teacher submitted my project, I find out in college that's true. Because I did the research and everything. Because I find the oddities in things and learn from them. What does this? What does that? Because I get bored easily because of having a 200 IQ. Yeah, my social life suffered because I didn't have a social life. My mother did not let me out. And nobody understands that. Oh, you could have. You couldn't. You don't understand. When you're dealing with a manic depressive, you pick and choose your battles. And when you hear your father say, please do this for me, please do this for me, I don't want her to get upset, I don't want her to get upset, what do? Do you risk getting belittled, hit, and everything? Or do you risk freedom? Like, the chance to even get freedom, right? So you figure, freshman through junior year, all this is going on and stuff. Couldn't go anywhere. She started to mellow out just a little bit, but not much, because that's my senior year is when I lost all this weight and everything, and they couldn't figure out what was going on. They thought maybe the cortisone, everything, right? But I went from 190 pounds down to 123 pounds my senior year. And when I lost the weight, and the guys all went, because they said, wow, that's what happens when you lose weight? I was like, this is crazy, right? And went to school normally and everything, started feeling good about myself. My knee was getting a little better. Things were turning around. Nope. Here comes college. Okay? Now you remember, being driven to the grade school, being driven to high school. Couldn't get a license because she hid the car keys. I went to driver's ed and everything, passed with flying colors. I can drive on a snowbank, on icy hills. I know how to drive with 2 feet. Well, Dad's a mechanic, so I also can drive stick shift and everything, right? Barely. I just haven't done it in a while. But she hid the car keys. She would not, because she felt driving would cause me to have freedom. I would go away from her. Get it? She has abandonment issues. She has all this, but she would transfix them onto me, which was not a good thing, because I am not the parent. She was the parent. It was almost like I was the parent, she was the child. But she was so, I can't say, I can say violent, because that's what it is. When she got frustrated, she'd come after me. And there were some episodes where, even through grade school, high school, we'd go, one episode was we go apple picking. I didn't get her coffee fast enough for her. Well, that was my thing. I had to get her coffee. She couldn't get her own coffee. I had to get her coffee. She came at me to strangle me. I pushed her. That was the first step I ever took to my own freedom. She was scared of me for a week. I had a week of freedom. But it backfired, because she made sure my life was hell after that. Real hell. But she doesn't want to admit it. She doesn't want to admit what she did. So you figure, I'm getting all this pent up anger, all this stuff and everything, but I wasn't taking it out on people. I just said, it's another day, another life. But it did damage. It closed my heart off to love. It closed my heart off to people, to trusting, right? So like I said, come time for graduation and everything, it was just to the point where my sister had to be the person to give me my diploma. That was another thing. My sister had to be the one to be with me all the time. Like, if my mother couldn't, I couldn't go anywhere unless I brought my sister, or my sister. But here's the thing. Later on, she got the car. And when I tell you she got to go have jobs in Jersey and everything, oh, it was not fun. It really was not fun. So I'm trying to figure out what to do, how this is going to happen, how this plays out. So senior year, I graduate, figure everything right. I silly stringed everybody. I said, basically it was like, bye, have fun, silly string, you people that hated me and stuff, and all that. But to be belittled, picked on, treated like whatever. I mean, I couldn't even do anything. I had to be driven everywhere. She had to keep me under lock and key. Wait till college, because that was another story. I couldn't even go to the colleges I wanted, because as I'm looking at the time right now too, I'm going to tell you about my colleges and everything, because this is where I can remember more of, because when you have a lot of negativity in your life, you block out your past. And I don't like that, because there maybe been some little funs in there and everything, but I'm going to tell you right now, from what I can remember up until senior year high school, it's not pretty. It was a life of ducking, dodging, and praying nobody saw the bruises, even the emotional ones. But this is the end of part 4, and I'm going to start part 5 in a second. I just have to get something to drink and everything, and hopefully this will tell you more about me, because this is more stuff I can remember, and meeting good people and everything. So this is when positive started to come back, but it still wasn't positive because of everything. Because as you can tell, you don't hear anything about dating. You'll see what I mean. Alright? But end of part 4. Part 5 will be soon. Bye.